Hey there, YouTube. We're jumping into our Japanese news. We just have a single clip, but it's an interesting one. Japan unveils its biggest military buildup since World War II. Davey, I believe, put this in the Discord, and I think he was commenting that he's starting to get some World War III vibes. And it is troubling to see these countries that haven't had much of a military presence start to spend more money on military, because they're hedging their bets. They want peace, they're hoping for peace, but they feel like it's a higher likelihood that something big might go down, and they need to be able to defend themselves and their people. So it's a sign of the times, right? What we would like to see, what the ideal scenario would be, oh man, things have been so peaceful for like decades now. What is even the point of spending billions of dollars on new technology? Like, we're literally all getting along. We've figured out all the problems. We're not trying to steal from each other. We're sharing with each other. What's the point of building a tank when we could put that money into building a massive aquarium in some shitty hotel? I just want to see that. I just want to see the aquarium explode. That's all I want to see. They've been backsliding on neutrality for a while, siding with the U.S. and just acting in the fold. Thanks, Putin. Well, that's the thing. What do we see from Russia? Naked military ambition, naked empire building. Not even like diddling around and just blowing up illiterate brown people in the middle of the Middle East, like the United States, but literally, putting your flag down and saying, welcome to New Russia. We're literally talking about erasing Ukraine, from existence, and renaming it, and just taking it completely. To be fair, that was their media, not direct statements from the government, but their actions make it pretty clear that they would be very happy to just completely absorb Ukraine. So anyway, we will be getting to the Ukraine news. Let's get on to Japan here. Biggest military buildup since World War II, which, I don't like to see. I still support the war in Ukraine. I still support pushing back on Russia. But at the same time, Chris Hedges does have a point when he talks about, how these military buildups, they basically guarantee more violence. And, certain truths should be acknowledged.
Now, Japan has unveiled plans for its biggest military buildup since World War II. The government says it will double defense spending, bringing it up to the NATO standard of 2% of GDP. Japan's move away from a self-defense only stance comes as it seeks to counter regional threats. It plans to acquire long-range missiles capable of striking China. Beijing said the plans undermined bilateral relations.
Yeah, they say that while the Chinese government will make insane statements about how everything is theirs, right? They're creating land masses in the ocean so that they can stake claim to them, immediately putting long range missiles on them. China is of course acting hypocritical here, but they're not wrong. They're like, yeah, well, this is obviously going to lead to more escalation now that you're getting ready to defend yourself from us.
And I'm very pleased to be joined now by Tomohiko Taniguchi.
Jesus Christ, do you think this guy reads? Is he in a library?
The professor at Keio University Graduate School and formerly a special advisor to Japan's late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Professor Taniguchi, could you give us an idea of how significant this announcement we just heard about is?
It is not only significant, but long overdue, because the street address and zip code that you find around Japan requires much, much more insurance premium. Japan is an immediate neighbor to Russia, North Korea, and China. That's not something that you could envy. And
that's a great point. That's a great point. Japan is in the vicinity of some of the most belligerent bad actors on the geopolitical stage right now. He's kind of has a point. Yeah, dude, I think he lives in a library. I think he's like that character from that anime where Read or Die. Was that the anime where like she's hyper like the whole family's obsessed with books or something? That's what it looks like. This is the guy Read or Die was inspired on.
And Russia is 1/3 of Japan in terms of economy, but China is growing still fast, and it's already 4 or 5 times as large as Japan's economy, and China is 10 times as big as Russia as regards GDP, and none of which has ever exercised the democracy and investing, all of which are investing very much heavily in nuclear arsenals. So it's significant, but belated action.
So you've made.
I mean, if North Korea were to really try something, it would be another Ukraine situation. It would be South Korea getting everything it's ever wanted, but it would probably be It would probably escalate differently in North Korea because there's probably a much more legitimate chance that fucking Kim Jong-un would legitimately fire a nuke if he had one. So there would probably be some kind of rapid strike, some kind of like massive, NATO South Korean, coordinated strike, right? Because I mean, Russia, yeah, sure, Russia's acting as a bad actor, but let's be real, no one really believes that they're going to launch a nuke, no matter what their media says. Does anyone believe that Kim Jong-un wouldn't? If like South Korea was, oh no, it's on, bitch, it's on, and then South Korea fucking moves in there, you don't think it's a real chance. So if South Korea is going to roll in there, they're going to need all help from everywhere. Welcome back, Lenny from South Boston. Go Sox.
Made very clear that the main driver for this military buildup is the perceived threat from.
And sorry again, Lee. I felt like a jackass. I'm so sorry, Lee, if you're still here.
China, also North Korea. But doesn't this military buildup by a traditionally pacifist Japan actually risk escalating tensions?
Tensions have already been escalated very much by China daily. It's a daily phenomenon that China is conducting very much coercive action around.
Very, very bellicose language. They're they're pushing. They're pushing
Japanese territorial waters, and Russia. It should go without saying that Russia is building up its arsenal and military capacity also on the eastern end of its huge landmass. So it's a belated response, and much more has to be done.
Can you tell us how this obviously major policy announcement is going down at home in Japan?
60% of those polled do recognize that there is a growing need for Japan to build its defense capacity in conjunction with its allied network, such as with the United States.
This could be
But
bad.
when it comes to how to fund those buildups, there is a sharp division of opinions at the moment.
Now, Japan is also actively seeking close cooperation with the US, for example, to deter threats to the established international.
Hey, man, Japan's a good country to have on your side. I mean, they got their ass kicked in World War II, but they got a Gundam or something happening there. They got some kind of fucking crazy ass robot. Something. I want some of that good shit. Give me the laser beam weapons, Japan.
Order. Can you give us a sense of what that cooperation would look like?
The United States has the largest ever military footprint solely in Japan. So without Japan, the United States could achieve very little when it comes to its engagement in the Indo-Pacific area. Japan's chosen to be a force multiplier in that sense by bringing itself closer, not only to the United States, but also to Australia and India and UK, France, and Germany are also joining forces for that matter.
Professor Tomohiko Taniguchi, thank you so much for speaking to DW.
Thank you.
Well, Zio Duke over here talking about dirty panties. Well, you don't think our US GIs would appreciate a dirty panty vending machine? That would probably go over really well in your average US military barracks. A soiled panty vending machine. It would. Just saying. Them boys need to work off some steam. You know what I'm saying? Those GIs are not that advanced. They don't have good taste. All right, well, there you go, YouTube. That's my Japanese update. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Please click the link. I'm desperate for your views and your attention and your admiration. I really need people to praise me, or else my self-worth just it implodes, you know? So, you know, this isn't a call for help, but help. Thank you.